A 16-year-old boy was having his period. The blood stained the entire urinal. It is blood urine, right? I think it's the period. No wonder he is so sissy. He is in the period. Nan was in his teens. Besides playing video games, his biggest hobby was to read adult magazines. One day at dinner, Nan suddenly felt abdominal pain. At first, he thought it was just a stomachache. After he took the medicine and took the rest, he came to school as usual, but in the middle of class, Nan felt the pain again. Then he peed a pool of blood. His classmates mocked him for having a period. Nan ran home in fear. He typed hematuria on the searching engine. The results showed that he might have bladder cancer. He curled up in bed in tears, unable to believe he got cancer at such a young age. The same night, Nan was once again in abdominal pain. He rushed to the toilet in front of his parents. His mother was worried about him and barged in. Seeing so much blood, she immediately drove him to the hospital. The doctor examined carefully and told his parents it was just an infection caused by a long foreskin. No big deal. Nan felt so relieved. He asked for a week off, and his mother agreed without hesitation. Therefore, Nan stayed at home playing video games, living joyfully. However, right after he returned to school, an accident happened again. While running in gym class, Nan felt very uncomfortable. He took the courage to ask the teacher for a rest, but his teacher thought he was cheating. Nan had to keep running with severe pain and suddenly fall off on the track. The teacher rushed to carry Nan to the infirmary. The blood stained their clothes. He collapsed on the track. The school doctor was shocked to see the blood on their bodies. Is she having her period? He's a boy. What? The parents rushed to the school when they heard the news. They took Nan to the hospital and arranged for a specialist to examine him. Urine test, cord, blood test. After a full set of tests, Lee soon had the diagnosis. He asked his assistant to take Nan out of the ward and talk to the parents alone. Lee said that Nan had the disorders of sex development, a rare congenital disease. He had both male and female reproductive systems. Once he got genetic gender testing, he could eliminate the unsuitable reproductive system and would still live a normal life and have a child. The parents are relieved when they heard that. It is great that he can still have a child. We can still have a grandson. On the way home, Nan asked her parents sadly whether he had cancer. His father didn't tell him the truth and lied that he only had a urinary tract infection. Soon after that, the testing report was ready. It turned out that Nan's sex chromosome was XX. His male organs needed to be excised and have a male-to-female sex change. Otherwise, there would be high probability of endocrine disorder and cancer. Afraid that Nan could not accept it, his father signed the surgery consent form in tears without telling him. Nan knew nothing about the truth. After the surgery, he suddenly found out that his male organ was gone. He had become a girl. Nan cried out in a frenzy. She didn't understand why her parents cheated her and turned her into a girl without letting her know. She went on a hunger strike to express her protest. After being discharged from the hospital, she locked herself up at home every day. Despite this, Nan's mother still followed the doctor's instruction and raised her as a girl, let her hair grow long, forced her to take antidepressants every day. On Nan's 16th birthday, she even gave her a little doll. Nan hated it and threw the doll directly on the candles. However, parents could not understand her feeling at all. To help her adapt to her new life more quickly, her parents brought Nan to Taipei and changed her name to Lan. Except her parents and the principal of her new school, no one knew she had once been a boy. Her mother showed Lan the new home in Taipei, and her room was pinky. Lan lied in bed, missing the days when she was a boy. But her mother said she was becoming more and more like a girl and forced her to wear girls' clothes. The first day of class, Lan entered the classroom with hesitation. Her classmates complimented her on how cute she looked. To her, all the compliments were like humiliations. She always thought herself as a boy, especially when she saw her desk mate Tianqi. She was instantly attracted. She looked at her until the girl reminded her that she was having her period. Lan went into the men's room as a matter of habit. Scared, the boy was shocked. Hey, what are you doing? The ladies' room is over there. Lan ran into the women's room embarrassedly. After cleaning up and back to the classroom, she found that Tianqi was kindly helping her to wipe the bench. After knowing that it was her first time having her period, she even dragged her to the supermarket and guided her to buy tampons. After that, Lan and Tianqi became friends. They went shopping together, doing nail and dyeing hair together. Tianqi also gave her a set of cosmetics as a gift. Lan gradually felt the joy of being a girl and started to have the courage to invite Tianqi visit her home. Lan happily shared the good news with her mother and finally had a smile on her face. One day, they went out by bus. A lecherous old man saw pretty Lan and put his hand on her thigh. It was the first time Lan encountered such a situation. She asked Tianqi for help, poured alcohol directly on the old man's face. After kicking them out of the bus, Tianqi started to comfort Lan. Since then, Lan opened up her heart to Tianqi and told the secret that she was once a boy. Hearing that, Tianqi still saw her as a good friend and promised to keep her secret. However, once a secret is shared, it is no longer a secret. Soon, Lan's classmates found out she was bullied against the wall. She was choked and could not move at all. Everyone wanted to see if she was a lady boy. At the very moment, Tianqi appeared, kicking out all the bullies. She hugged Lan to comfort her, but was pushed away. Lan resented her for leaking her secret. In fact, Tianqi did not mean to. That day, a naughty girl in the class went through Lan's school bag. She accidentally found a bottle of antidepressants. She suspected that Lan was mentally ill and wanted to tell other students about it. In order to stop her, Tianqi revealed the fact that Lan was intersex and warned her not to tell anyone. However, she pretended to accept but spread the word to others. The very next day, the whole school knew her secret. When Lan walked into the classroom, everyone was pointing at her. Tianqi cried and apologized to her, but the naughty girl mocked her loudly. Tianqi is not the one to blame. We did not expect that. There is an intersex as classmate. The classmates got uproar once hearing that. They did not let Lan go to the bathroom and forced her to take off her underwear to check whether she was a girl. Although Tianqi showed up in time and stopped them, the betrayal of best friend and the bullying of classmates still caused serious damage to Lan. She back home crying and screaming, throwing all her belongings on the floor, venting her emotions. Nevertheless, the ridiculing from her classmates kept affecting her. Lan deleted Tianqi from her contact and no longer back to school. She stayed at home and played video games every day, trying to numb herself from the pain. Worried about her health, Lan's parents took her to the hospital again. When the assistant saw Lan, could not help admiring her physical change. There's a lot of change. The effect of estrogen is so significant. In order to help her become a girl sooner, Lan's mother secretly changed her medicine to estrogen. The medicine she usually took was not antidepressants at all. Hearing that, Lan reached her breaking point. Under the excuse of for her own good, they never took her views of gender surgery into account. They never asked her if she wanted to be a girl or not. Have you ever cared about what I think? Why didn't you even ask me? People like you don't deserve to be parents. After yelling at her parents, Lan found Drive. Lay, she asked him why he ruined her life. But Drive, Lee replied in a condescending tone. He told Lan to thank him because he was her savior. At this point, Lan finally realized she was just a tool to help him to achieve his career success. I am just your work. You have never respected my life. Since you ruined my life, I can ruin your work as well. She went to the flower store, bought a bunch of sunflowers, and gave it to her mother. Then she locked her door and changed into a pure white dress. She put on lipstick and perfume, danced to the music around the room, giving this movie an open ending. We may not know the actual ending of Lan, but the intersex people should not be discriminated and ridiculed. They deserve to be treated gently by the world.